After we'd left Australia, we flew into Fiji, and you know, I kind of feel like I went into Fiji as one person and I've come out as who I am now. Fiji really was a stunning place. It was the most relaxing place we've been to. We spent all day drinking cocktails and eating fruits on the beach. I've got some fruit, would you like some? Got some coconut.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Like, we were eating fresh fruits on the beach. It was just a fantastic time. But it was the people that really made the holiday for me. They were the loveliest people on earth. They had nothing. The poverty in Fiji was so high. It really was. And the poor people, they were working for the equivalent of about £8 a day, 12-hour days. Yet they were still happy to share everything with us. Like, they had nothing, but they were happy to share what they did have. They were happy to share their culture with us. They were happy to show us their dances and their foods and to really just teach us about what it's like to be Fijian. And I love that. And I think it's something that a lot of people should strive more to be like. They also introduced me to the concept of Fiji time. Fiji time is your own time. You do it when you want. And if you're crap at a game, which I'm crap at games, I'm really crap at games, you would get another go. Because it's Fiji time. Everything is Fiji time, and it's, you know, it's amazing. And I think it can be translated into real life, because everyone needs a bit of Fiji time now and then again. That crab won me a free cocktail, and that's why he's getting kisses. I'm scared of crabs otherwise. But yeah, that crab won me a free drink, so he won his freedom. It really was great, and Fiji taught me that I can learn to laugh at myself. I can learn to laugh at little problems in life that go wrong. Some things are unavoidable and you just can't, there's nothing you can do about it. So if these people can laugh and they have nothing, why can't I laugh at the little problems that I have in comparison when I have everything? Fiji time helped me to be able to laugh at myself when a Thai tuk-tuk driver threw a piece of cake up my head. He threw cake up my head because I wouldn't get in his tuk-tuk because I knew he was trying to overcharge me. And it kind of brought to home how long I'd been away, because I knew that I'd been away for so long and I'd start to know the local prices and the local lingo and stuff. So I was really like, oh God, I've been away from home so long and I really missed it. But it also kind of brought home to me that I've nearly done my trip, that it was nearly over, and that really upset me. So it was, you know, catch-22 really. After we'd got back from like the all of that, it brings me back to the beginning. We stayed in this really posh hotel. We decided we wanted to stay somewhere a bit luxurious because it's cheaper in Thailand. And we stayed in this hotel, and my God, it was, you went in and you got like a complimentary Thai massage, which I can only equate to being like the feeling of being beaten up by a little woman. It really hurts. And the bed, oh my God, the bed was like a king size and a half. I've never seen anything that big before. Like, me and Tom were like rolling around on it, and we were still, you know, on the bed. It was fantastic. But as much as I loved all of that, and I loved being in a luxurious hotel, I missed travelling. I wanted to get out and do the real things. And some of my favourite real things that happened, when I think about them now, are like being bitten by leeches and staying in jungle huts where there are feral monkeys and eating deep fried cockroaches. They weren't cockroaches, they were crickets. And I haven't got any, but I've got what they reminded me of. They reminded me of peanuts. Would you like some?
Oh, I won't say no to peanuts.
Just try and think of eating a deep fried cricket while you're eating them. That's all they tasted like, and I loved it.
These better be peanuts.
They definitely are. And it was so lovely, like, to do these real authentic things. I wanted to be a backpack carrying, baggy trouser wearing, Chang beer drinking traveller, and I really felt that I could do that in Thailand. Which brings me to, like, my favourite place. My favourite place was Koh Tao, because it was just a little slice of heaven and it was so relaxed, especially after I'd been to Koh Phi Phi and I drank 2 of these. That's a rum bucket. It has a whole bottle of rum, a bottle of Coke, their version of Red Bull, which isn't carbonated, and a Sprite. I got very drunk when I drank 2 of these.
Whoa.
As you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once I drank 2 of these, I ended up looking like this. Tom thought it was hilarious that I drank too much and that I'd overdone my limits. So he took pictures and photographic evidence of me being very drunk. What a lovely boyfriend I have, eh? But Koh Tao was my favourite place. That was him being bitten by a leech in Koh Sao, which was cool. That's where the jungle was, and I really enjoyed it there. But not quite as much as Koh Tao, because it was so relaxing. And even though we got to do, like, really cool things in other places, and Koh Tao was really more of just dossing around, it was nice to just doss around, to go in a sea where it was as hot as bathwater. I've never been in the sea when it's like that.
Wow.
And it was just fantastic. And it wasn't so much of a party island like Phi Phi was. And it was really good for me. Which brings me to my least favourite place, which is Bangkok. And as much as I got to go over and see the palace, and we got to go and do loads of other cool things and seeing, like, the temples that you saw at the beginning, it wasn't the same for me. You know, it was hot and it was sticky, and the poverty out there was, it was dreadful. There was, like, we saw 13 children sleeping outside the central station in Bangkok, and it really upset me. It really, really upset me. And Tom had to remind me, like, you can't give money to everyone. And I know, you know that deep down that you can't give money to everyone, but if you could, you'd try. It was really hard. And I didn't like it because it was near the end as well. Also, a man threw cake up against my head, so I love it. But it was really hard for me. And leaving there, it meant that the trip only had 2 weeks left. And that was really hard. Although I wouldn't miss the many people in Bangkok, and I definitely wouldn't miss the heat, because I just can't stand it. I can't stand the heat. And it was 10 times hotter in Bangkok than it was anywhere else in Thailand. So flying away wasn't too disappointing. Coming to Singapore was really hard, because it really did mean it. It was really coming to an end. I had 2 weeks. And what really sucked for me was that there isn't really much to do in Singapore if you don't have any money. They have kind of like we have the London Underground, they have that sort of system for their whole country. So every place you stop at had a shopping centre, and every shopping centre had like a Coco Chanel or a Christian Dior or loads of designer shops and restaurants, and it was kind of like, okay, it was strange going back to somewhere so westernised after spending a month in Thailand. Also, we didn't have the money for all of that type of things. We were struggling to eat most days from money, so we spent a lot of time in our room, if I'm honest, reading and just spending the last 2 weeks we had together. And it sounds silly, but our favourite day out was to the zoo, because I love the zoo. I think it's because I wasn't allowed pets when I was a child, but I absolutely adore going to the zoo, as you can see. And it was my favourite day out, because it was a whole day out together, and we did something, and we got to see animals that I've never seen before, and I'll probably never see again. And we did a night safari, which was pretty awesome. We also went to the Waxworks, Madame Tussauds, and that's me strangling Justin Bieber. Because, well, we're all allowed one wish while we're on holiday. Coming home was really hard, I won't lie. It really was. Because my plane left when Tom's was meant for checking in, and I was told that he'd be able to come and say goodbye to me. So I gave him like a quick peck on the lips and said I'd see him in a minute. I didn't see him for 2 months because he carried on travelling. He went to Cambodia, Vietnam and Laos, and I really thought I was going to get to see him, and I was so upset because I couldn't even contact him to get a hold of him. And even though I cried a little bit at the airport about this, I managed to hold it together quite well on the plane home. And I was quite proud of myself that I managed to get through security and through onto the right plane. But not as impressed as I was when we touched down in England. I was like, yes, I made it back to homeland. And I hadn't lost my bags. I hadn't been frisked this time. You know, nothing bad had happened. And I realised that if I set my mind to something, I can actually do anything. And that's what this trip really taught me. Seeing my parents at the airport really brought it home to me, like, how much I've missed them, because obviously you miss your parents, but when you see them you just thought, oh, I've really missed talking to you, Mum, and I've really missed you, Dad, and I was really happy to be home. I was also happy to come home and drive on an actual tarmac road so that it wasn't bumpy as hell, and I was really, really happy to drink a bottle of Evian water because that stuff costs 10 times as much abroad as it does over here. And I was also, the thing I was most happiest about, getting a decent Chinese, because I just didn't get one in Thailand, if I'm honest. And that's what I come back as from my play, from playing away and going away. It was amazing. So thank you for coming away with me. I hope you've enjoyed it.